What's up guys, this is Matt from Shine On here, and today I've got a video for you which is all about creating great designs for our graphical jewelry products. So this video is going to be an introduction to general design advice to make sure that your graphical jewelry products look great and they sell well. As a little bit of an introduction, I will just explain that the high quality materials and transparent processes that we use to get your designs on our jewelry will look different compared to the mock-ups that are automatically generated when you upload your design. The reason for that is because it's a real-world physical process involving metal and various transference materials, so there will be differences in color. On top of that as well, bear in mind that the products that you're creating are actually quite small, and the mock-ups that are generated are close-ups. So the close-ups in the mock-ups will show lots of fine detail, but in real life, when that design is scaled down onto a pendant, which is about that big, some of those details will be lost and they won't look too visible. So I'm putting together a list of do's and don'ts for your designs for graphical pieces to make sure that you make artwork and designs that look rock solid every time. Number one, make sure that you avoid the use of color gradients. So color gradients are where the color will shape from one to a different color. So you might have on screen now, you can see an example of a black to a white gradient. You can see that the color fades from one to another. So whenever you take a picture of a blue sky or something like that, it's not just one solid color. It fades from one shade of blue to another shade of blue. That's called a color gradient. Make sure that those aren't used because they do not look too good when they are zoomed out and scaled down onto the jewelry pieces. Number two, avoid drop shadows. Similar to color gradients, drop shadows are a fade of shadowy color behind like text element or something like that. The soft edged nature of the shadows do not look too good when scaled down to the small jewelry product size. If you want to know more information about what colors to use or what not to use, there's another video which goes into detail about color reproduction on our graphical jewelry pieces. I'll put a link in the description for you so you can go and check that out in more detail. Number three, avoid metal textures. There's no need to use fake metal textures on our products because if you want to have metal on our products, you can just use transparency. So what transparency will do is it will allow the metal underneath to come up through the design in areas that you designate. So you don't need to use backgrounds and things like that of fake metal because you can get the real thing. All you need to do is set up transparency for your design. And if you want to know more information about that, there is another video linked in the description. Number four, avoid real world objects. So pictures of things like gemstones and that sort of stuff. They look great on the mock-ups, but when zoomed out and on a small piece, a lot of the fine detail will get lost, and in some cases it might not look too good. So what's better to use if you want things like gemstones and the like on your products are nice, simple vector illustrations. When scaled down, they will look great. There's an example on screen now of what I'm talking about. Number five, avoid lots of text. Again, this is down to the size of our products. The graphical pieces are not great for putting large paragraphs of text on because that text will be so small it will be almost unreadable. It's not worth doing, but if you do want text, by all means you can have text on there. Just make sure that you don't have lots. And finally, number six, just bear in mind that simple designs work best. Illustrations, simple images, simple text, etc. Just bear that in mind when you're creating your products. So just to kind of really get you to understand what works well on our graphical pieces, on screen now are a few different examples of greatly designed products that work really well on our graphical pieces. You'll see that they are simple, they have great use of color, and they are visible even at small sizes. If you've created a design and you're unsure how well it will look on the graphical piece, there are two things that you can do. The first is if you have a printer at home, try taking that design that you have created and shrinking it down to about the size of a jewelry piece and printing it out on your home printer. If it comes out looking great, then you're onto a winner. And the second thing is if you're still unsure or if you don't have a printer, you can always order a sample product. So that sample will come to you and you can see before you start running a new campaign, before you start advertising that product, how it will look when it's in the customer's hands. We recommend that we do that for all of your new products that you intend on scaling up. And guys, that's all I've got time for now. If you have any questions or if you want any more suggestions on topics to cover, do leave it in the comments. I'll see you all again soon.